Insider is with Renee Nato and myself on Wednesday. Thursday is the John Fourcade show. John Fourcade and Mike Detillier have their show. And then Friday, they have some other type of prep showcase as well. So all during the week, WHNO is really the leader in local sports programming, just like watching it tonight. And most of those programs, the games, are simulcast on sportsnola.com. So not only can you get, in fact, they're showing Ken Trahan right now on the television. He's doing the radio broadcast with Chandler Rose and Lenny Sumich for Brother Martin.
Wow.
So they're doing the radio broadcast on WGSO. We're really fortunate here to have great coverage, and Sports NOLA really leads the way in that, as you mentioned. All the local sports, the best prep coverage anywhere. And you get to see so many of those games, even when they're tape delayed through WHNO, because usually the Friday games are tape delayed on the television, but it does get broadcast live, streamed live at sportsnola.com.
Awesome.
So that's why tonight you can see it at sportsnola.com, WHNO, or listen to it on WGSO 990 AM. It is just a great time here, and WHNO really leads the way in local sports programming.
Awesome. And don't forget, you're being streamed live as well here from the coach's office. So you guys got your pick of the litter, what you can be able to listen to as far as your sports news catering to New Orleans as well as the Louisiana scene. Okay,
and as we go on, that's so important, Kyle, because you know better than anybody. Just because you're living somewhere else doesn't mean you're not from New Orleans.
Exactly.
You're always interested, probably more interested in what's going on here, no matter where you're living, than you are where you are.
You're right.
You never leave. You never leave New Orleans. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave.
Look,
and we hope to lead the way in that.
Look, you are so right, because that 35 St. Aug game, the first week of the season, right? Jim Derry of NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune, he did a live broadcast from the stadium, and I listened to that live broadcast, and I was so happy he did a live broadcast, because I'm thinking this is one of those classic rivalries. You need to have a live stream going on. And you had other people like fans in the stands. They were trying to stream it themselves and things to that nature. But I think, the way technology is now, we have to take advantage of these live streams. I know some of the streaming is prohibited because of copyright laws and things to that nature. But guys, I mean, we're in a different age, and technology can give people around this whole world the opportunity to listen in or to be able to view some of the fantastic prep football that goes on in Louisiana.
That's absolutely right, and it's so great to be a part of that, and what we're doing with you, Kyle T, from the coach's office, really accentuates that as well. We get to get to a lot of people and provide information, as I like to say on our Prep Recruiting Insider show. We get to provide information you just won't find anywhere else.
Exactly.
And we find it out firsthand, and you can let us know right away what information you want to know about, and we'll do our best to get it for you. It is so fun to be involved with that. I'm so fortunate to here in a second career to be able to participate in something as great as New Orleans football. Prep, college, professional. What a tremendous opportunity. I'm so thankful.
Yeah, definitely. And one last thing, I was looking at our analytics and looking at who was listening to our shows over the past 3 weeks, and we had people in Europe, Australia, New Zealand. We had a couple of people down in Brazil listening to Saints News Radio. I'm just
How good is that?
Wow. That, just think about that reach that we have been able to provide. And, and we're just a couple of guys who love our teams and we want to talk about it, So it's pretty awesome. Hey, Professor, I see you in the studio. Welcome to From the Coach's Office. How you doing? Well, Professor, we always have that little delay with him.
Yeah. He's trying to hit the right button.
I was just listening to Dad because I was sitting here watching the Buffalo game. And you know what, Dad? I want to say this to you. We are very fortunate to have you, man.
Definitely.
I feel the same sentiments about you. You like my football dad. And I just want to take the time to tell you how much Kyle and I love you, man. And we are so fortunate to have you. And you are absolutely right about you can't leave New Orleans, because when that St. Aug 35 game was going on, I was on the phone with one of my good friends. Her son plays for St. Aug. And I was like, look, I can't find this game nowhere. Hurry up and drive and get to the stadium, because he plays on the varsity team. Hurry up and get to that stadium. I was yelling, hurry up and get to that stadium and give me a live report. Call me on the phone so I can hear what's going on in that game. He was like, what? I said, hurry up and get to that stadium. I need to know what's going on in this game. So you're absolutely right there when you say, you know what, I couldn't give a rat's tail about no sports in Atlanta. I don't even be thinking about no sports here. The Hawks, the Falcons, none of that. But I stay abreast of what is going on at home back in my hometown of New Orleans. So you're absolutely right about that, man.
Yeah, we're such a unique area that when you ask any one of us where we went to school, we don't even talk about college. We talk about the high schools.
Right. Right. I'll be like, in Atlanta, they be like, where you in school? 3-5? They say 3-5. I say, yeah, 3-5. They said, didn't you go to college? Don't you have a bunch of massacres? Oh, the college don't matter. It's a high school. Yeah. We don't go to no colleges and all that other foolishness. We go by the high schools down up to the Big East.
Sure, because New Orleans is so neighborhood-oriented, and part of our neighborhood, whether the school's in our neighborhood or not, that the school is a part of our neighborhood. That's a part of who we are and who we belong to. And that's what makes it special. That's what makes a show like Friday Night Football with Ed Daniels in his 25th year.
Wow.
When they told him, and the reason I know that, he started his show when I got my first head coaching job at St. James. It was the same 1992.
Wow.
And they told him there's no way that this show could possibly succeed.
Really?
Because people telling him that were not from New Orleans. Surprise here, 25 years with Friday Night Football, an hour television show, and that's not enough time to get in all the material. And Ken Trahan, in his 22nd year of the original Prep Football Report, my goodness, we start tomorrow. Show you how big this is. We start tomorrow at 6 o'clock with Countdown to the Original. Mm-hmm. Ro Brown and I are at Lakeview Harbor, right there on Harrison Avenue. Tomorrow's Roma Raider night. Last week was Lake Area New Tech. And so we'll have 10 different schools on during the regular season. We go from 6 to 7 with Countdown to the Original. The Original goes from 7 to 11 with scores and analysis from all over the state. And then from 11 to 12, simulcast Friday Night Football. So 6 hours from 6 o'clock to midnight. Nothing but prep sports at WGSO 990 AM, sportsnola.com.
Wow.
That you could stream. In fact, you could see Ken Trahan with a video stream, even though you'd probably rather be looking at whatever game they're showing tomorrow as well. But what other city in the United States could have a prep football show going from 6 to midnight every week during the football season and go for 22 years and counting?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Funny, because I remember when Ed, I was, living in New York, but I remember I came back. I remember when Ed came, and, well, I remember all of that when, they was making adjustments and different things, and, and I remember how the prep scene was beginning to grow, and they was doing more comprehensive coverage, far greater than when me and Kyle was in high school. And I was like, man, high school sports is so big in Louisiana, so big in New Orleans. I was just really, really happy to see that. And, Dad, when people always telling you this ain't going to work and that can make that's one of the things I tell Kyle. The Saints consistently, tell us no, but I said, Kyle, look at what you have built and what you have done. I said, we don't need them. It's their loss. I said, look at how the players came and we had the chance to interview and all of the different things that we've done. So when God is for you, it doesn't matter what man states. And so that's what has happened with you all, Dad. When the people were telling y'all no, Ed and everybody kept on ticking, and look at how successful you guys are now. So that's a remarkable and a phenomenal achievement. So just keep doing it, Dad. So proud of you.
Yes, indeed. We certainly will. We thank you.
Yeah, and guys like Ro Brown, and I will be honest with you. The way I got connected with you guys, I was trying to get on WGNSO, right? And I was working out a deal to have Saints News Radio to be live. And I started reading up on you, and I knew Ed Daniels, and I knew Brian Alley Walsh, and Ken Trahan. But when I started reading your stuff, I was like, and that's when, I don't know if you remember, that's when I reached out to you, and you responded, and I was like, man, why don't you come on the show? And hey, history ever since then. And I really appreciate you being a part of us, and and our listeners. I could tell you, these guys really key in on what you have to say, especially the guys like Barry. He loves to hear you, as well as Rev loves to hear you, as well as Derek and I. So we really appreciate you.
Money. He's getting rich off of me.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well,
that beat is running, Professor.
There you go. Well, let's get back to it.
I said, Kyle, I need Dad. I got to hear Dad once a week. I was sitting up here, and honestly, I looked at the clock. I said, whoa, it's 8:06. Dad is on. Let me turn this game off. Turn this stuff off and get on this call. I said, oh, no, I got to have my therapy session because it's just that. It's just, I just believe in giving honor to people that paved the way and have done things, and your knowledge and the in-depthness of your knowledge, it just continues to bless me, and I just feed and eat off every word you're stating because you break down things so well, you make it so comprehensive, and it's just no comparison, to you. I talk about people to you all the time. I say, look, y'all can't compare to my football dad. He breaks that stuff down. In fact, I was telling everyone about last week's show, and I was telling them you need to go out there and listen to the show because I can't remember how it was. Something you started breaking down last week, and I just was I couldn't even get out the office chair. I was just so mesmerized at how you broke that down, and it was like you went into a little soliloquy of breaking down the Saints and some things you said, and you just went from A to Z. I was like, there ain't no need for me to do no show tomorrow. We got off that show at 45 minutes. I was like, there ain't nothing else to be said, Kyle. I just gonna run through these little grades, and we getting off the air. There ain't nothing to say. I say, that show that Dad gave on Thursday, everybody needs to hear it because that was a perfect summation of the New Orleans Saints, and so I just appreciate you, sir. I really do.
Yeah,
well, thank you. It's a pleasure to work with all of you.
Thank you so much. All right, let's continue on. Guys, if you are listening and you would like to call in, the number is 504-533-8444. Okay, Coach, any quick tidbits on LSU and Tulane before we get into the Saints?
Well, Tulane is playing Navy this week, and what a great matchup that is going to be because of the contrast in styles. They both run triple option offenses. Navy is under the center, double slot, wishbone type of attack, and they do it as good or better than anybody ever has. I just love the service academies. They play the game the right way for the right reason, and their execution is just so tremendous. I love to watch them. Tulane is a triple option team as well, but they are a shotgun triple option type of attack. And Tulane won their first game of the year last week, beating Southern University, playing exceptionally well. And scored 66 points, as a matter of fact.
Oh, did they? Oh, wow.
Yes. It was 66-21. They beat Southern. Southern contributed a lot. Southern got off to a very difficult start, and Green Wave took advantage of it. But even scoring 66 points, the Green Wave have decided to change quarterbacks.
I heard.
Jonathan